I'm Margaret.
Oh yeah, I didn't prep you for that. Today's video is sponsored by Marvel Press, which is super exciting. I have awesome guest author here, Margaret Stohl. Woo! Woo! Author of the New York Times best-selling Beautiful Creature series is probably where you know her best from. And we're celebrating the release of Margaret's new book,
Black Widow Forever Read.
Woo! Which is the untold story of Natasha Romanoff in YA book form.
Marvel's Black Widow.
Come to the big book
screen. Page. We're totally celebrating.
Yes.
Hence the forever
Hence the
red.
outfit.
We're the red and black together.
Yes, we make her
planned
uniform.
this.
Totally did. Yes. We just smushed our outfits together. We're her.
We pretty much are smushed together, so don't worry about that.
Ooh, look how pretty.
Hers is bigger, but mine is real.
So today we're going to be doing the Avengers Book Tag. But first, let's talk a little bit about Black Widow Forever Read. How did you feel with the pressure of Marvel on your shoulders?
Oh my god, the pressure. I felt so much pressure. Marvel fans, you guys, if you're watching this, are all professionals. I have this really clear adrenaline memory of being asked to get the job. I was in Italy at a writing retreat in bare feet holding a tomato, standing outside on the porch, and I got this call from my agent and I was like, oh! And then my reaction was, I would do this for free. And my agent was like, I am not going to tell anybody you just said that. That was like one of the greatest moments of my life.
That's awesome.
Sorry, birth of my children, wedding of my husband.
This is cooler.
I'm a hardcore nerd girl. I worked in video games for a long time.
Oh,
like
so
I worked on the
cool.
very first Spider-Man game.
That's
that they did for the
awesome. Wait,
console.
what system was it for?
I was a writer-designer, but I think it was the first like Super Nintendo. But I
Oh,
couldn't
awesome.
yeah.
That's so cool.
And I worked on Fantastic Four with the company we had after that. So I'd have been like a
Cool,
long time.
yeah.
I was really excited to get to work with Marvel again. They're sort of changing the way popular culture sees women in a lot of comic books. And compared to the state of comics when I was growing up, I mean, it's an insanely different place. Look at Ms. Marvel. We had a female Thor.
And Black Widow is the person we feel like we know the least about in the general pop culture world. Like, it's so exciting to finally get to hear her story.
Yeah, it was exciting to work on the canon, you know, like this is the story. And I worked really close with Sana Almanat, my Marvel editor, and Emily Meehan at Disney. And really smart women. We worked together what could have been her past and how it worked. And it was just amazing. And it was like a trip to like get into someone's head when they're so private.
Yeah.
And they, like the character doesn't want to tell you anything. You just kind of have to pry it out of them.
Yeah. Is she your favorite Avenger?
She's my favorite
Now?
Avenger. No,
You've
she
learned
always
so much
was.
about her.
She's cool. This is their first big YA Marvel's launching. Like she was the most accessible character to sort of, you know, bring that to the YA reader.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not a comic book.
Yeah.
There is a comic book.
It's a YA like Marvel book. You've never seen something like that.
No, it's been very cool. It's consistent with Marvel Cinematic, except for it's more like the Marvel Cinematic you see on TV because Coulson's alive. And he's really fun to write lines for too because Natasha, they like bicker and it's funny. It was an honor. It was the greatest job I've ever had. I wish it would go on forever. She has a lot of layers. She has a lot of damage. She has a big heart. The book was way more interested in like the nature of her heart than who she was dating. So it was sort of about love more than just what guy you're with. It's a lot about family also.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Then.
And a lot
Do
of
we get to like
kicking.
meet her family?
You may. I may not tell you that.
Interesting.
I know it was hard. I worked really hard on this
Yeah.
job. But I also love to read spy books, which is something people
They're
don't know
really
about
fun.
me. So
Yeah.
that's my...
That's awesome. So this was
guilty
like
pleasure, so-
exactly what you would
Yeah,
like to
this was
write.
in the wheelhouse. A Marvel spy.
Yes.
It's like my two favorite things.
It's awesome.
And like a totally butt-kicking woman.
yeah, the one that we all want to know about.
I wanted to know. And then
Yeah.
and that was even before the last Avengers movie and
Yes,
suddenly everyone
so
was
you,
talking
like-
about Black Widow.
So the Avengers Book Tag is all about taking the Avengers and then assimilating them to a book, and you just had to talk about a book that you like that kind of
Taking them to a
equals them.
higher brain level.
Our first question is Iron Man. This is an easy one. It's just one of your favorite first books in a series because he's the one who kicked off the Marvel phenomenon. phenomenon of the last 10 years.
Well, I mean, I love 1 million first books in a series.
Yeah, just one that just, you know, first comes to mind.
I really love the first Descendants book that my friend Mel De La Cruz wrote for Isle of the Lost. I actually think it's like the best book she ever wrote. So hilarious.
Yeah, that's
so
really cute.
Shout out to my friend.
Yeah, she was here.
Oh yeah.
We did a tag together.
We did a tag.
I have so many favorites too.
Yeah, what about you?
Most recently that comes to mind is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles.
Yeah.
Cinder. I really enjoyed that one.
I was thinking you were going to say the first Beautiful Creatures book.
Oh, you know, that one was good too. I do have that one too. It's just I read it so long ago now. The next person we have is Mr. Captain America. And for Captain America, a book that you really liked that took place in another time period.
I thought you were going to say in America. It's not very hard. Another time period.
Another time.
Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
Is that supposed to take place in regular time?
Well, it's Middle Earth, which I think is like long ago.
I'm gonna say, because I'm reading Hollow City right now, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, just read that. It takes place in the 40s.
Yeah.
So that counts as good stuff.
He's very stylish. Ransom's good at nailing down the details.
Yeah. All the language of the children is really fun. Like, capital idea.
You know what's fun like that also is Liva Bray's...
Oh, yeah, Diviners.
Yeah. Which has that, like, spit spot 20s.
From the 20s.
Yeah.
Next we have Thor. This is a fun one.
Yeah,
so it's a book character that became much more appealing to you once he was casted. Not that you didn't like him, but when he got casted, it was like, whoa, he's hot. I love him.
I think I knew Thor, speaking of Thor, was great looking, but I love the Thor.
Theo?
Yeah, Theo. I love him. I think he's so great. What about you?
For me, the biggest change in my character opinion happened for Twilight. I hated Jacob.
Oh.
And then he was cast by Taylor Lautner. I was like, oh, I love him.
Yeah, I see that. I totally get that.
He was really great in all those Twilight interviews back in the day, and Rob was kind of quiet, and I was like, oh my god, Team Jacob now.
Oh, that's cool.
For like a small section, and then I went back to Team Edward.
Speaking of Hollow City and Ransom,
Yeah.
another author just said to me, you know the thing about Ransom and Tara? They're like the Cullens. They're like that good looking.
They're that perfect.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
Sorry, I haven't said that to you guys yet. But I think you're the Cullens. I didn't say that, I just heard it and I thought it was true. So maybe they're immortals.
Maybe.
Maybe Ransom was alive.
He was alive in the 40s. That's why he's nailing it.
We're
on
to together.
So Hawkeye is next.
Yeah.
A book that you love, but you were a little insecure about shouting about your love because a lot of people don't like it as much.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, a book that you really love that was not as popular.
Not very many people have heard of my very most favorite book in the world. I was the head of the fan club in 3rd grade, which was Susan Cooper's, it's called A Dark is Rising. We would get together under the stairs and say, when the dark comes rising, 6 shall turn it back, 3 from the circle, 3 from the track, earth, air, water, bronze, fire, stone, 5 shall remain and 1 go alone.
And that's from the book.
Yeah, and I recited that once on stage, and then it turned out Cassie Clare can recite it too, and also Maggie Stiefvater and Garth Nix. Also Dune, which is a really old sci-fi movie, the worst and best adaptation of all time. That's my guilty movie pleasure.
Oh, nice.
It's so bad, it's good.
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Yeah. This one is a book with a sibling duo that you really love.
Harry Potter.
Oh, the Weasleys.
The Weasleys. They're fun.
Yeah, they're wonderful. I guess I'd pick right now, coming to mind, because I'm looking at my contemporary shelf, To All the Boys I Loved Before. I love the Song Sisters. Jenny Han.
Jenny Han is awesome and it's really funny. I like stalking her Instagram.
I stalk her Instagram too.
Right?
She's just like on vacation.
That trip looks great.
Yeah, it looked great. Next is Loki. And Loki is a villain that you can't help but love and kind of be a little attracted to.
Sometimes the Darkling.
I still don't know him. I need to read those books.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the Darkling.
Yeah.
I feel like I always say the same one, but like I really like Valentine.
Oh yeah.
From The Mortal Instrument.
She's great at that.
Yeah.
Cassie's really good
at
those
villains that are
And Holly Black, her good friend, is great at the opposite, where she could make a hero really dark. But my all-time favorite person I love was Han Solo. I used to crank call his house every single day and ask for his sons, Benjamin and Willard.
Oh my god.
Because I went to girls' school and a girl there, her father was his lawyer. This is probably all against the law, so children, don't do this at home. But yeah, and I had a sweatshirt that said Margaret Ford. Yeah.
Next is Ant-Man. This is a book you've been meaning to read but haven't gotten to it yet because a lot of people haven't seen the Ant-Man movie yet.
I want to read, and I bought it, and it's been sitting on my bed, but I never read Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
I never read it either, and I saw the film and it was so great, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I need to read it now because it was so good.
One of my favorite guys from Beautiful Creatures is in the film, so
really?
Thomas, the main guy.
The main guy?
He was the best friend in the movie adaptation of Beautiful Creatures.
Oh my god. I just didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
For the Hulk. This is a book that you can't talk about without getting super worked up.
Yeah.
So, do you have one of those right now?
Yeah, I have a lot of
I feel like those come in phases. Like, you go through periods where you're just like,
I'm like a longtime fan of Rochelle Mead, who's one of my good friends. So I'm like a Team Adrian person.
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah, so I
wish Rose and Adrian was a thing. I mean, there's Adrian now.
I know. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, Rochelle knows my feelings. Vampire Academy fans know that I'm a massive Team Adrian fan. I fangirl.
But there aren't many of us.
No, I know.
Yeah. Like, I wanted Dimitri to die at one point. And I was like, this is mean.
Well, I loved him for a while.
Yeah.
I just, I like the dark, struggling boys. And I love Rose, and I love Zoe Deutsch, who was also in Beautiful Creatures.
Yeah.
And she just got another adaptation. Yes.
What is she in?
She was just cast in Lauren Oliver's Before I Fall.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I know. I'm super excited. And I'm excited about Game of Thrones Arya as in Forest of Hands and Teeth.
Yes. Yes. There's so many books becoming movies.
I know, it's
so exciting.
It's so great. I'm so excited for all of them.
Ultron. Who is your favorite snobby child from a book series?
My favorite snobby child. And not including my own snobby children. I have to say, I have a fondness for all of Slytherin, really.
Yeah, I mean, like Draco Malfoy, so I'd probably end
up
choosing.
Draco,
he's the classic snobby child. I'm going to tell my father about this.
You know who does a great Draco Malfoy is Veronica Roth. She's got the
yes. Should do like a reenactment of Harry Potter.
Yes,
one of the book events,
should.
and have her play Draco.
I in fact think that's something that could be arranged.
Last question is Black Widow.
Yes,
of course. Save the best for last. A book with a side character that you love so much. You wish they had their own.
No sidekick. Hashtag no sidekick.
Not sidekick. A side character.
Right.
That just doesn't get as much time in the spotlight. But that's what we have with Black Widow.
Yeah.
We see a little bit of her, but we want more.
That's why we're so excited.
That's why we're so excited.
Finally getting her
book.
You know what's interesting is I love the character who you will meet who becomes Red Widow in the Black Widow books, and she is just one of the characters in that book, but then she did get her own thing in that she got a comic. Oh. We got a Red Widow comic, actually it's in here. In this issue of Mockingbird, S.H.I.E.L.D. Anniversary #1.
Yeah, you wrote a comic book.
And there she is. That's her character reveal page.
Very cool.
You can tell my kids were fencers.
They were?
Blades,
That's so cool. I always
like
wanted to do that since Parent Trap.
Yes, since Parent Trap, exactly. But there's so many strong women who work at Marvel. They're superheroes. It's crazy. And they're doing amazing things like Ms. Marvel getting off the ground.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Oh, and Captain Marvel. Everything new they're doing with the comics makes me really proud to work with them.
Yeah.
I go to the Marvel offices and they're like, stop, you're embarrassing us. And I'll be like,
just
stop.
I mean, I'm glad that Adrian got his own series.
Right.
That's something I'm really happy about.
I also think Rainbow Rowell is great at writing multiple characters in a book that you would want to follow.
Yeah, follow more.
So I think it's interesting that now she's doing sort of the carry-on.
Yeah.
That happened a lot in Beautiful Creatures too, the books I wrote with Cami Garcia.
Yeah, you did a spin-off
with Ridley. They were fun. So we did kind of their rock and roll spin-off.
Very cool. That is the Avengers Book Tag.
Awesome.
Yeah. I hope you guys had fun. Black Widow Forever Red comes out October 13th.
Early.
Be sure to check it out. I'm really excited to learn more about the notoriously mysterious Black Widow.
Yeah. And also, I'm touring with the Women of Marvel the week after that,
awesome.
so you're going to get to see all the butt-kicking ladies of Marvel.
That's so cool.
So you can find that out on my website.
I'll leave the link in the doobly-doo.
In the doobly-doo.
In the description. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Bye. Thanks for having me. love writing Tony Stark too. He's the
coolest.
He's like the devil who sits on my shoulder, and I sometimes like talk to myself in bad Tony Stark lines. Yay!
Author of the New York Times, blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.